The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
You know how our family has daddy and mommy?
And me.
Yeah, that's right.
That very benign Super Bowl commercial has been turned into a racial attack. Not very nice. We'll tell you about it.
Mr. President, we'd probably be better off with you cutting your presidency off right now. Just quit.
Some black Americans are angry with President Obama, but not most. We'll analyze a very controversial situation. Also tonight, pro-pot ads outside the Super Bowl stadium say the herb is safe. Do doctors agree? And Megyn Kelly on whether the police should be able to search your cell phone. Caution, you are about to enter the no spin zone. The Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Liberal dissatisfaction with President Obama, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. As we reported last night, some Democratic senators who may lose next November are criticizing Mr. Obama. That's self-serving and not very important. What is more striking is that some very liberal folks have turned against the president. Enter our pal Jon Stewart, perhaps the most revered liberal broadcaster in the country. After scorching Congress on Tuesday night, Stewart zeroed in on the president.
The president looking to force policy changes on his own without Congress.
I'm intrigued and increasingly willing to go against the Constitution and entertain the notion of a two-branch government.
He's going to raise the minimum wage himself. An executive order to raise the minimum wage.
Of course. He'll do it himself. He doesn't need anybody. An executive order. Just him. Yep. President Obama is apparently now in the it stage of his presidency. Yep. He's done talking to these people. And now he's just starting to tick things off his list.
What is instructive about that is the lack of protection for Barack Obama. In his first term, most of the media very gentle toward the president, but now that's changing big time. The president's most loyal base remains African Americans. According to a recent Fox News poll, 85% of black voters still approve of the president's job performance. Just 10% disapprove. Among Hispanics, 50% approve, 45% disapprove. With white voters, just 34% approve, and a whopping 61% disapprove. But even though African Americans remain faithful, some activists are angry.
He's been more hurtful to the black race than he has been helpful. And he turn around and say he's going to sign an executive order to create a minimum wage for federal services only. But what about the rest of us who don't have jobs at all?
Mr. President, you know, we'd probably be better off with you cutting your presidency off right now. Just quit.
Pretty harsh. But there is no question that African Americans are suffering grievously in this economy. Right now, black unemployment is about 12%, as compared to about 6% for whites. Young black men unemployed at a rate of 22%. And the median household income for black Americans just over $33,000 a year. It is $57,000 a year for whites. So after 5 years in office, President Obama has not really lifted the fortunes of African Americans. And the question is, why not? Talking Points believes it is partially due to the culture. You might be tired of hearing that 72% of black babies are born out of wedlock. I know I'm tired of hearing it. But that is what is driving poor economics in the black community. Stability equals prosperity. And in many black precincts, there's chaos in the streets, in the schools, in the homes. From the very beginning of his presidency, I have suggested that Barack Obama take on the cultural aspect of poverty for all races. So far, he has not. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, another point of view. Joining us from New Orleans, Democratic strategist James Carville. So where am I going wrong here, James?
Well, first of all, you're right when you say it's most reliable bloc. It was President Clinton's most reliable supporters, too. African Americans are first, Jews are second, educated white women are third most reliable Democratic voters they are. Look, you know, he got 93% of African American votes, 7% of a lot of people. So that you can find some people that'll be dissatisfied, but by and large, they're very supportive. On the economic thing, we've gone through a terrible economic crisis. I wish we had stronger black families. I talked about it in my book in 1996. But, you know, high school graduation is up. Crime is down in this country, even in spite of the fact that we've been through a pretty tough recession. So teenage pregnancy rates have flattened out. So we are making some progress, but I'm like you. I'd like to see us make more.
But I don't think that's ever going to happen unless the federal government stops with the "we need more money" mantra and starts with the "we need a better culture" mantra, you know? And also, black unemployment right now is tied into high school graduation. 17% of blacks 25 years and older do not have a high school diploma, as compared to about 11.5% for whites. Now, if you take that data, the 22% unemployment rate among young black males is tied right into that. So if you're going to drop out of school, you're going to be poor. And that's the message that really I haven't heard it very much. I haven't heard it hardly at all.
Well, fact is, black graduation rates have improved somewhat. And there are any number of things that we can do. First of all, there's pre-K funding, which has got a lot of steam. The research now is pretty conclusive that this can be very helpful in the long term.
I don't know. That's controversial.
Well, it's not. You know what?
So there was a recent study that said after fourth grade, all the pre-K gains were lost.
But then if you go further out in life, that they are pretty good, and it can help a good bit. Moving the minimum wage to $10 an hour is going to help considerably. But look, the difference between black employment and white employment before the recession and before President Obama ever thought about running for president, there was a continuously wide gap. So this is not anything new.
But the gap has always been there, in my opinion, because of the culture, not because of the federal government. The president believes that spending more money, and the Democratic Party does as well, is going to solve the problem. And I'm saying it isn't. I'm flat out saying it isn't. Now, here's one thing that would solve part of the problem, and data is conclusive on this in Washington, D.C. School vouchers, giving poor families the right and the aid to choose their school. So if it's a rundown, violence-filled public school, they can walk over and go to a much better private school with the help, with the voucher help. Yet you and the Democrats and the president say, no, 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 no. That's, to me, devastating.
There's substantially more research supporting pre-K education than our school vouchers.
Let's all say, give them the pre-K. What about the vouchers?
Okay, look, we have charter schools. They're working fine here. I'm blessed cool on vouchers. I think the research is mixed. So people that's very controversial will agree with that. But what we can do, and I agree with you, is that my advice to anybody, to any young person, would be to get married, stay married, get in school, and stay in school. I don't have any problem with that.
Stay in a good school. All right, a good school.
We have improved. Again, high school graduation rates are improving. There's some of the stuff is improving. You got to give credit here.
I'm not going to give credit because the plight of African Americans under the first black president has deteriorated on almost every economic level. I'm not giving any credit
because we're in the middle of an economic crisis. We've had a devastating economic crisis, Bill.
I mean, you can blame that, but 5 years and for any president is enough to make a difference. And this graph is continuing to go down economically. Okay. All right, Carville. Always a pleasure to debate with you. Next on a rundown, a benign Super Bowl ad provoking nasty tweets about race. Laura Ingraham with details. Then, big pro-marijuana billboard outside the Super Bowl stadium. Is pot safe? We'll get the facts and the factor coming right back.